I'm here today to talk about the 6.7 Power Stroke. Guys, as goofy as that name is, some people love it. I don't know. If any of you watched the Hornady podcast, you probably saw an episode on the top Coyote cartridge. You probably heard them discuss this phantom gun that was supposedly sending 80 grain bullets, 3,800 feet per second.
Since we were talking about the Oklahoma boys, I think it should be known that I'm pretty sure it was Travis Stevens did a 6.7 PRC and loaded 80 grain BTs in it.
He did.
Just
So did Tate.
Did he?
Yes.
Just,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What did they call it?
I don't know what they called it.
A Power Stroke.
Just a ridiculous amount of power.
Yeah. Slight overkill.
Yeah.
So I made some phone calls. I said, hey, what gun were y'all talking about? Figured it out. Wouldn't you know it, my old buddy Tate Streeter at Impact Precision happened to own the very rifle of which they were speaking. This is the 6.7 Power Stroke, guys. All right, what is it? It's a neck down 7mm PRC, neck down to a 6mm. I am pushing 80 grain bullets, 4,000 feet per second. Hello? Did you hear me? 4,000 feet per second. This rifle is an absolute beauty and has absolutely blown my mind. A 22-250 speed with a 22 Creedmoor type bullet, Showzas. She hot. Let's go through the build really quickly. First off, this build was done by TS Customs. Top line Smith, guys. Travis Stevens over there, they've been doing it in the precision rifle game and the hunting game for a long time. Build is a beaut too. This is his stock. This thing is carbon fiber stock. Absolutely gorgeous stock. No adjustable cheek weld. Tate prefers no adjustable cheek weld on his hunting rifles. You guys know how I feel about that. Some guys just prefer it. I threw a Night Force 4.5 by 32 on top of it because really you can stretch legs with this thing, but I did some killing with this thing on the thermal. Brah, she smack. So again, TS Custom stock, lightweight carbon fiber hunting stock. This is Impact Precision's medium action. You heard me right, medium action. Why would someone want a medium action? Well, first off, the long kind of clunky nature of most long actions are just that, clunky. And so this is in between that and a short action. I really didn't notice that much of a difference between this and my short action. And again, you guys know how I feel about long actions. They're all right, but I don't know. This medium action thing is the bee's knees. The challenge with that is back to the stock. There aren't many stock makers that are making medium action inlay stocks. The other piece of this, Hawkins bottom metal. Guys, this is a really unique and interesting bottom metal, right? In the medium size. Hawkins makes their flush, lightweight hunting, DBM for this. It's fantastic. And they sent me a mag, which you saw me running in the video, with the flush mag. That thing it fed absolutely perfectly. This is the medium impact action NBK, natural born killers. What that means is he's lightened it. He's taken some material out of the top rail. Obviously it's not a full top rail to kind of lighten that weight and whatnot. And then also he's got the bolt throw with the weight cut out of that. Man, this thing is smooth like butter and absolutely performed phenomenal. If you are running something in a cartridge that is this hot, if you're running 4,000 feet per second, man, I'm really particular about what action I want this far in front of my face. In case something happens, gets overpressured, gets too hot, blows up, whatever. Like, I want something I know I can trust, like an impact, to protect my vision, to protect me. So, really cool. So again, 22-inch barrel, lightweight setup here. Now, I have the R30T can on here because it's flat dark earth and it looked freaking awesome with this thing. But the total footprint, I think that can's about 7 inches. So here we are, total 29 inches front of the action, short, compact, lightweight. Man, this thing and the spiral flutes that Travis did, oh my gosh, freaking awesome looking. Just absolutely incredible. But guys, I'm sending a 410 BC bullet G1 at 4,000 feet per second. Okay, my competition dope at 400 yards is 1.6 to 1.8, depending on the time of the year, 1.6 mils to 1.8 mils. This thing is 0.5. It's a half mil hold to 400 yards. It is flat, it is fast, it is thumping, and dadgummit, high BC, I can stretch its legs if I need to. You're gonna see in some of these kills, every single kill we had, good shot placement or not, that coyote dropped on the spot. We killed them all the way out to like, I think 373 yards was the farthest one I've taken with this so far. Nice! But that wasn't a great shot. I got out of the truck, I hopped a fence, we spotted the one from the road. I got on a tree limb and sent a shot, and I hit him pretty far back. But again, he dropped on the spot. Really, really impressive terminal performance. And I'm doing it all with those 80 grain ELDVTs, the new bullets. When Tate first got this, he was running the 87 grain VMAXs. He wanted to run those 80s, but wasn't sure, as fast as we're spinning those things, that they would sustain. So he called Hornady. They were like, hold on. They did ultimate extreme testing on it, came back and said, hey man, you're good to go. And I will tell you from a personal testament, they're good to go. I'm sending these things at 4,000 feet per second, 80 grain ELDVTs, smacking predators. What's up? This video today, as you probably guessed, is brought to you by Impact Precision. Guys, why do I run Impacts? Because I have run them in the snow, rain, sleet, dust. I have put them through the red grit dirt of Oklahoma, to the snows of New Hampshire, to the rains of the Pacific Northwest. Like this thing, I have run these actions in every possible condition, both in matches and in hunting scenarios, and they just flat out have never let me down, period. They've never let me down. So I continue to run it. Really appreciate Impact's support. The way you can support them is supporting some of their vendors, guys. Check them out at some of their major carriers, one of them being TS Customs, Walls Rifles. Tate, thank you for letting me borrow your personal gun to do this review and for sponsoring the video. Impact Precision, guys, check them out. All right, guys, thought it would be kind of fun to do a vapor trail comparison. Now, I'm on kind of a tower that wobbles a little bit, so bear with me, but I think you should be able to see the vapor. The other thing I want to look at is just the elevation and the impact on target. So we're going to start with the good old tried and true 20-inch 308. The 308, baby. Sitting at 168 grain Sierras at about 2650. My dope is 4.3. I'm going to roll some wind in. I've got half a mil rolled in. I would say it's probably more like 6 or 7 tenths. Actually, let's just do that. I'm just gonna roll in 7. And let's send some downrange, watch the vapor, and do some homework after the fact. 308, here we go. Pretty centered, looked like a little left center. Ooh, too much that time, let's adjust accordingly. Boom. Cut down to 4 tenths. There you have it, 574 yards, 308, 168 grain. My dope was 4.3 mils, and wind hold was between 0.4 and 0.7. Now let's check out another bit more modernized, flatter shooting cartridge. All right, guys, my buddy had a 6.5 Creed out on the range, so I thought let's send some down, check the vapor out there as well. At 574 yards, his dope is 3.7, and let's see what kind of vapor action we get with a bullet. The bullet's 130 grain, tipped match king. Here we go. Probably need to give her about another half mil, I bet. Yeah. Back, spin it up. Whoa! There you go. Got a little wonky. I was at 9 tenths. No, I was at, yeah, 1.3 mils. And then I sent one off the right in the dirt and had to come back down to 8 tenths. So she's swirling out there, the things we do for you, the YouTubes. All right, last but not least, the old power stroker. All right, guys. Last but not least, the 6.7 Power Stroke. I'm sending an 80 grain bullet at normally at 4,000 feet per second. I toned it down to 3,900 because I knew it was going to be raining on me, and I knew I was going to be shooting it more than normal, so I toned it down a little bit. Here's what's incredible: at 574 yards, my dope is 1.7 mils elevation. Okay, 1.7, and again, I'll show it through the binos. Some of the energy stuff and what have you, but at 500 it was 1 mil, which freaking blew my mind. That just absolutely blows my mind. So really cool. But yeah, let's send a couple downrange. Got my Hawkins, good old trusty Hawkins Hunter Map. Guys, they make a medium PRC SAUM mag for this, and it holds 3+1 here. So yeah, so I've had really good luck with this in the medium action. I really like that. Also, the bipod you see, I'm gonna get asked 1,000 times, I'm sure, what kind of bipod this is. This is a company, Ryder, RYDR Industries, makes this. This is my first time out here shooting with it. So, yeah, I'll be curious to see how that, what I think of this. It's all said and done. Here we go. A little bit here. I think it's with a little authority. Dadgum. All right, last one. Oh, I got 2 more. I'm gonna lock this bipod in here real quick. There we go. Oh man, dude, that gets there so fast. 6.7 Power Stroke. Really excited to see the vapor on this one. That thing gets there real quick. I did not catch it in my scope. A little too much recoil for that, but I was up at, I think I was magnified to like 19x, so that's probably why. But yeah, that's 1.7 mils at 574 yards. Old girl will kill a coyote or two. 6.7 Power Stroke. A couple other thoughts I wanted to really follow up on the video. First off, in the medium action, just the length differences. So the medium action is 350 thousandths longer than the short action, whereas a long action is an additional 500 thousandths beyond that. So between the short and the long, you've got 850 thousandths length. So why a medium action? Well, medium action is for guys who want to run cartridges like the 6.5 PRC, the 6.7 PRC, the 7 eventually, the 7 SAUM, the 300 WISM, and the 6.5 284. Like, all those are really good candidates for a medium action. One thing that I have noticed is there's not much of a field difference between it and my short action, whereas in a long action, no matter what stock or action you're running, you run that bolt and you're gonna run that bolt back very close to your face. Now, why is that important? Well, it's harder to cycle the action without you coming off stock, and so getting out of scope, which is obviously in a hunting scenario or really any shooting scenario, not what you want to do. So these medium actions are catching a lot of traction for that, and giving the guys the ability to load much longer than what the factory loads are coming out at in the 6.5 PRC and all the aforementioned cartridges. Now, stock challenges, like we talked about, this is a TS custom stock. Right now, I know MDT makes them, McMillan has them, TS Custom has made a huge investment in them, and so they should have pretty good set of them. And then Manners will do it. But again, if you do it with Manners, it is going to be a custom order. So you've got to play that into your timeline. I think these are going to catch on. I think you're going to see more components become more readily available as time goes on. What cartridges do I see this leading to? I think you're going to see significant advancements, including obviously the 6.7. But like I said, I know for a fact there are other really high performing cartridges development happening literally right now, being built off of medium actions. So stand by. Bottom metal and magazines, like I mentioned earlier in the video, MDT makes mags for this right now, but Hawkins obviously is what I'm running here. Hawkins, this is their Hunter, lightweight Hunter bottom metal, and they have their Hunter magazine that they currently make for medium actions and will continue to develop around that. This one has functioned flawlessly. I also reached out to some other smiths that are using this heavily, one of which is Walls Rifles. You guys see me feature him on the channel before. Guy builds absolute tack drivers. He personally has dropped an antelope with this at 960 yards using the 6.7 power stroke. He's a huge believer in it. And when I asked him about it, basically what he said were kind of a couple things. First off, he thinks medium actions are great. Any short Magnum cartridge benefits from being in a medium. 6.5 PRC, 7 Sawn, 300 Wisdom is now way more attractive, loading the higher BC longer bullets and the availability of components with things like the 6.5 PRC being the big one, because out of that one, many people want to shoot the 156 grain burgers, and those just take a length to be able to load those appropriately, and having a medium action makes running those much easier. Everyone wants to run the 156. I think a medium action feeds the short, fat Magnum cartridges much better than anything else. It's hard to get the speed with a heavy bullet out of this. It's been kind of my thing. A lot of people are going to ask, why are you running the 80s? Well, first off, I know the 80s will kill well, okay? So I've run the 80s and I'm getting, like I said, 4,000 feet per second. My experience, and also Joe Walls, who I spoke with about this, we're having a hard time getting that speed with a heavier grain bullet out of this thing. And so Joe runs the 90 grain Sierra Game Changers. That has the same BC as the 103 ELDXs, and he's never had one get away from him. Yeah, lastly guys, this was just a really fun gun to test out, fun build. Certainly more recoil than 22-250 or 22 Creedmoor or 6 Creed, but golly, the benefits might outweigh it for you. I don't know, something to look into. Again, it's just neck down 7 PRC brass, neck down to a 6mm. Now, what I will say is, all right, Derek, are you gonna do a 300 neck down? I'm not. And the reason is already there's so much, this is so overbore, there's so much excess powder. I feel like I'm sandblasting the inside of my suppressor. I think we've kind of reached the maximum capability, in my opinion, in that sort of bullet weight range. So 80 grainer, 4,000 feet per second, I'm good with that. That's faster than 22-250s, and doing it with a high BC bullet that I can shoot, take animal, take game at longer distances without question. Love it. Guys, really appreciate you watching today. Again, go check out Impact Precision. Appreciate them sponsoring this video, letting me borrow this rifle to do it with. Had a ton of fun. Guys, give us a like and subscribe. If you have ideas for future videos you want to see, these Wildcat Wednesdays are really fun. This is a Wildcat cartridge, obviously, one you're not going to see in the store on the shelves yet. So let me know. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Until then, until next time, get ready for hunting season, baby. It's about here. A power stroke.